All right, we're back here on the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. We're hopefully does it work? Can you hear anything? Well, can you hear me talking to you?
Well, yes.
All right.
Yes and no.
Okay, it's our communications are failing us here very very quickly, but we'll get to that. We got a lot to get to here. We're trying to get Jim Pettit on the Jim Pettit on the phone. Talk about the Pat Pettit Triple Crown, and he's the main guy kind of behind some of this money that's coming in, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a memorial deal for Pat Pettit, and so the 3 races on the Triple Crown. I don't know exactly how he picked them. I think he probably just sat down and what are the 3 biggest, baddest tracks on the tour? So they went to Irwindale, and that was 5,003 to win, and that was won by a Bakersfield driver in a Bakersfield car, Greg Voigt. And then they went to Pikes Peak for 15,003 to win, and that was won by Derek Thorne. And then they ended here at Kern for 10,003 to win. Of course, the 03 has been a number for Pettit for a long time. And then the title for that top points is 1,003, and Derek leads that. So he could end up putting in a pretty good haul if he can get another win this weekend.
Good stuff. All right, well, we have the fall shootout here, and then we've got the Sprint Cup Sprint Car Shootout coming up. The King of the Wing. That's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's November 23rd, Sunday.
There you go.
And we'll be racing at 4 o'clock. So
right.
Circle that on your calendar. And by the way, we'll have sprint cars run around all weekend this weekend. We got a car for Friday and a car for Saturday for some test runs. And so we'll really get.
So hold on, kids. Right?
So we get a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
this is going to be quite a weekend, boys.
I think fans will be impressed by seeing those.
Yeah, Eric Hot Rod
cars.
Humphreys will be running on Saturday, and he's fast.
We got some great pictures too that I wanted to share, and these are the little guys.
Well, if you haven't been to Kern County Raceway or haven't really spent a lot of time, we'll give you kind of the lay of the land of all the divisions running. So we'll have both our junior and our senior mini dwarfs, and for both of them, this is their championship race. Currently, we have 15 cars entered, so you'll have 7 or 8 cars per main event. And Anthony Balcazar will be our senior champion, but on the junior side, the ladies Bailey Thompson and Kirstie Young are going to wrestle it out for their finale.
And that's going to be a good one too. I mean, Kirstie and Bailey have had just great seasons all year.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how the girls have kind of really come up in those classes too.
And I know that some people bemoaned these cars at our grand opening and there were some teething problems. You will be absolutely amazed by the quality of racing that they put on, and it's going to be awesome for the kids at 6 o'clock.
Okay, and then what are these guys?
Citgo Lubricant late models, and they'll be running 75 laps for $5,000 to win. It's the highest paying race for crate engine late models in all the West Coast, $19,000 in prize money. And we'll also have some gift certificates and oil and some other stuff from DJ Safety and Citgo. And so that's Cole Adamo and John Piker.
Hopefully Cole got his car back together.
Yes, Cole will be racing, and also Racing Vernon got another car, so he'll be ready. Currently 22 entries for this
I've been
event.
quietly watching Racing Vernon's
Now racing,
progress.
there should just have been a little damage up top, right?
Now, they got a
he was
whole
trying,
new
he was
car.
trying
They
to
got a whole
go
new
fast
car.
on the wrong side.
So we'll have 22 late models this weekend, which is an awesome turnout.
And here we go.
And then the SRL Southwest Tour cars. That was the great racing that we had back in April between Doss on the inside and Jonathan Gomez on the outside. And they kind of did this the entire length of the race. And Jeremy Doss came out on top. And
High school student from up north.
yeah, up from Derek's area up there in Upper Lake, California. And he'll be going for it. He's second in the point standings. And remember, he won our $5,000 to win firecracker race in July as well.
And our last photo that we've got is this one right here.
Yeah, the SRL S2 Tour, and there's a lot of Bakersfield names in that one. Of course, Brandon Weaver, Shorty, is the points leader, and he'll be running double duty in the S2 and the Legends cars.
It looks like there's a little help in that picture.
That's Chris Morrison, the 99, and the fast female in the Stacia Dodd in the 81, kind of.
So Brandon Weaver will run in two classes, in the Legends and in this class as well. And
yeah, and he might run the late model race as well.
Oh, is that right? Is that kind of what they're hinting at right now?
He's going to try to do the trifecta.
Oh, really?
Wouldn't that be something?
It would be something, because that's a lot of driving. I mean, that's the thing. It's like when you look at these guys who do double duty, I mean, that was when one of the Bushes ran the IndyCar and NASCAR. Was that Kyle or was that Kurt? I can't remember which one.
That was Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. So, all right, we are now joined by Jim Pettit.
Yes.
Jim, are you there?
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you? Can you hear him?
I'm
Can you hear him?
good, man.
I don't have it, but
Getting ready for
we'll
this
run with it.
weekend.
Here, hold on a second there, Jim. We're fixing a. Can you
There
hear
we
me
go.
now?
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Let's see if we can go in here.
So first of all, Jim, thanks for coming on the show.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the Pat Pettit Memorial Shootout and what brought this among and what this means to your family.
Well, first of all, my mom was, my biggest race fan, as a lot of people know. I mean, everybody has a lot of fans, but my mom was always there for me, along with my dad and my family. But, my mom was my biggest fan, and unfortunately we lost her in December of 2010 in a car wreck. And after that, we had started the memorial in honor of her at the local track where I started on the 3rd. But, in my career, I've been doing this for some time, and we've been involved in a lot of different venues of racing, dirt and asphalt, and a lot of different racetracks. And majority of my last part of my career has been basically on the asphalt. So we wanted to try to do something in terms of sharing it with the guys and teams that she interacted and knew so well on the asphalt. So that's basically why we decided we wanted to do something on the asphalt. And this is basically what we came up with, is the Triple Crown.
So what we were talking about before you joined us is how did you guys arrive at choosing Irwindale, Pikes Peak, and ultimately Kern County for your 3 events?
Well, originally the way we started out with, we wanted to do the marquee events for the SRL at the time, and that of those 3, with Irwindale, we spent a lot of races at Irwindale for one in the past when we ran the NASCAR version, and spent many nights at Mason Marin and Bakersfield. So we always wanted to include that. And the reason that we went to Pikes Peak is because it was a marquee event for the series, and we thought that it would be best to highlight it at that event also. Doesn't mean we're going to stay with that venue, but that's how we came up with it for this first year.
And you have quite a history with Bakersfield, because obviously Mesa Marin was far and away the home for the Southwest Tour, by far the most events in the series history, and you obviously spent a lot of time racing in that series. Tell us how important Bakersfield has been for your racing career.
Well, Bakersfield's always been important in my career, because before I went to Mesa Marin, I spent a lot of nights out of Oildale at the dirt track, and so, I mean, Bakersfield's always been a big part of my racing career on Saturday nights, regardless if it was Mason Marin or Oildale. But I think it's a key important part to keep one of these events at Bakersfield, because especially with the facility being what it is and the people that are running it do such a great job. And, I mean, it's just a great place to hold an event. And I think we need to keep it there as long as this event continues on, at least one of them.
So you're only racing for the win this weekend. You're not in the points. You guys have kind of been out of the car this year. That I would imagine that might pose some challenges for you being out of the car. But in any case, what would that mean to you? And kind of what's your strategy if you can get this win this weekend in your kind of your namesake race?
It's a big event for us because it is one of my mom's races, and we weren't able to compete in the other 2 because of circumstances beyond my control. But we just had some things come up and didn't get a chance to run the other 2 races, so this will be our first one debuting, like you're saying. And it's very important for us to go there, because we're not chasing for points, so we really have nothing to lose whatsoever. We don't have to worry about chasing points and counting positions, and we can go, as the old famous says, we can throw caution to the wind and go for the win, and that's what our point is. And then the other thing should be, and my main focus is to hopefully that this is a great event in honor of my mom. And if we can't get the win, we're going to do the best that we can to put on the best performance that we can. But my guys, my crew chief, Dwayne Sharp, and all my guys, and my car owner, Quentin Bammer, they always give me great equipment and cars that are prepared to win. So basically it's going to be up to me to do the job. I know I'll have the car, so hopefully I can do my part, and we'll get the win. The main thing is to make sure it's a great event for everybody involved.
We have a lot of young guys, and they just keep getting younger and younger. And when you think about it, what is it about this racetrack that makes it so special, considering all the racetracks that you've been to? You're kind of a guy that can probably appreciate more than anybody just because of all the places you've been, right?
I've been to a few places, that's for sure. I just think, with the way the track was designed and how and everything that's going on with the young drivers, I mean, it just shows you that there's a lot of talent out there that was held back in the past because of the age restrictions. And now that's out of the loop, we're seeing some of those young stars coming to an opportunity to showcase their talent. and we're going to have a few of those here this weekend for sure. And they're going to be guys that are going to be ones of the ones to beat this weekend. So everybody that's going to be there has to be on their game, and I plan on being on my game, and my team does too. And we're going to go for the win. And Bakersfield's such a unique racetrack. I mean, it's a fast racetrack. It's not so much a momentum racetrack, but you really get with it at Bakersfield. It's one of the faster tracks that we run on, other than, say, a super speedway like a Pikes Peak. But I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're looking forward to having you out there, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you very much to Jim Pettit for joining us here on the Baker Motorsports Power Hour. That's all the time we have left. Join us again next week as we conclude our first season here on the Baker Motorsports Power Hour with all of the results and video and photos from the fall shootout. Looking forward to it with Stephen Blakesley. Thanks to Mike Griffith. Thanks to Chris McCullough on the board. We'll see you guys again next week here on Bakersfield.com.